How's it going, guys? And welcome back. This video right here is DaLabi's 80 stacker 2-sec efficient nuke parallel fusion. And that is the cannon we are going to release today. Also, today we're going to come into a lot more about what this cannon does and how it works. But before doing anything, let's go ahead and fire this cannon. Up there we have the walls, and you already did one test wall right here, and we should be going through it. There you go. And that right there was the efficient nuke all the way down. Today's video is going to be a lot more about how this cannon works and the specific pieces in this cannon right here. And the first we're gonna talk about is the button span. The button span is this entire thing right here, and yes, it is a little bit big, but I'm gonna come into why we have it this big right here. Everything in this cannon here requires, of course, a redstone pulse. Now, the redstone pulse delivered from a button, if it has to go through a clock and quick pulses, it's just not gonna last, because you cannot have a quick pulse going all the way around this cannon right here. It's just simply not gonna work. We have a lot of sand right there. We also have some OOE going on, so it's just really not efficient. So the button spam is this entire thing right here, and what it does is that when you first press the button, it goes into this block right here, and it goes 2 seconds. Once the 2 seconds is over, this one here pushes out with the piston and stops the signal. This way you are making it pretty much a 2-sec every single pulse. But now that you've done this right here going out breaks the signal, which means it's no longer as a signal that lasts an X amount of time. As you might know, a button has a strong signal and then it goes off maybe like 2 seconds or whatever after. But if we break the pulse right there, we don't know how long this pulse here lasts. We don't know. And that is very, very dangerous. So what we need to do is that we first need to make it a quick pulse again. And yes, we did it over here, but it's not exactly a quick pulse. It's just maybe it just breaks the signal. We have no idea how long the signal is. So we need to make it out to ground level, like level 0, which is a quick pulse. And from there, we know exactly how many repeaters we needed to be a pulse for a stone button. So out here, we have a signal as a stone button, but in between right here we have a lot of quick pulses and stuff like that. But this one here just pretty much makes sure that whatever signal comes out at the end, which is right here, is the same equal to a stone button. And that is pretty much this entire construction right here. Now, I'm not really sure if it can be made smaller. I haven't heard or seen anyone make something smaller like this, but this one here works out pretty well, so why not just use it? Now, the game tick comp or the carpet comp is something we're gonna come more into in a later episode. It's kind of a big subject since we are using game ticks. We are using a kind of flying sand on top of carpets and stuff like that. So it's kind of a big subject that I need to think about how actually I'm going to explain to you guys understand it. But one thing we can talk about though is the infinity boosters. Over here we have 3 sections. We have the first, the second, and the third. This right here, the first one, is going to explode. That is going to move all this TNT that's come out of these dispensers over to this trapdoor right here. And once this one explodes, it's going to move all of this right here over to that block, and that one is going to fire the power the rest of the way. Now the way it works is that the hammer, the power, is located all the way along right here. And as you might know, if this one here explodes, it's not only going to move this infinity booster, but also going to move the power itself over to maybe like over here, something like that, because that's not getting stopped by a trapdoor. And then this one here is going to fire the power maybe over here or something like that. And then this one right here is going to shoot it the last. And we use this method because it's incredible fast. It's way faster than you would with a normal booster, and that's just make it way more efficient. You see this method also on over here, where you can see we used infinity boosters, and also over here you see how we're using it as well. The barrel itself is pretty much parallel fusioning, and the way that works is that everything is going within one block. Now that might be a little bit confusing for some of you guys, so let me try to explain exactly what parallel fusioning is. If this right here is your barrel and you have sand and TNT, let's say that you have something like this, so right on top of each other, the sand goes at the top, the hammer's at the bottom. So now if you travel an X amount of chunk, we're talking like, it depends on the power you have on it, but let's go ahead and say we are traveling like 30 chunks this way right here. What you're going to see is not that the hammer and the sand is going to be perfectly aligned like this. You're not gonna see that, because what we have right here is that the sand is getting way less in velocity because the power is down here, which means the hammer is way closer. So what you're actually seeing at the wall, if you're shooting this far with an X amount of hammer, is that the sand is going to be at the bottom, because the sand is dipping way more than the hammer is, because it doesn't really get all the power. Now the way a parallel fusion works is that if the power is right here, everything, including the sand, the slap boss, the hammer, the efficient nuke, everything is within one block, which means it can travel as far as you want it doesn't really matter. If you're shooting 100 chunks, you might see it dipping maybe down here, but it's still gonna work. That is parallel fusioning. It is very, very, very strong and can shoot very, very far without dipping, first of all. But if you're shooting very, very far, it doesn't really matter if it dips a little bit. So this right here is a very, very powerful tool, especially if you are trying to go through filters, trapdoor filters, you name it. Doesn't really matter. This cannon here can handle everything. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and test out the 2 seconds. As you can see, I have my ult right there on a pressure plate that might not be allowed on new servers, so please use the button. But this right here is just a simple test, so that's why I am doing it. So this right here is 2 seconds, and as you see, it works every single wall, and it works out pretty well for extremely far away. So you should not worry about that whatsoever. So 2 seconds is actually pretty fast, and you can brute force someone. So that's actually pretty exciting. So I'm really excited to see you guys rate someone and put it in the comments. I cannot wait. Now, coming over to the cannon, if this one here can stop firing, we are creating a lot of flags. So let's go ahead and take a look down at the cannon. And as you can see, there's no sand stock anywhere. And that is a very, very good sign. That means that the cannon is working perfectly. Now, I did already test it with a fully watered version, which you can see over there and right here. So you should be just fine on that level. Now, do you think that this right here, releasing other people's cannons or friends of mine cannons to help you guys out? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. But I want to thank you so much for watching this video right here. If you liked it, of course, like this video here. Make sure you join my Discord giveaway, where I've given away PayPal, a lot of PayPal recently, a lot of giveaways, Bycraft, ranks, keys, you name it, on all kind of servers. And as always, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 10k subs.